All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So there's this new report that just surfaced from CBS Sports, Jonathan Jones, suggesting that in the pursuit of Davante Adams, the New York Jets might trade Mike Williams. They may have to pony him up. And actually, quick, by the way, I'm in North Carolina right now. I'm going to a wedding tomorrow. But in any case, you're kind of digesting all of this Davante Adams news, all this, all the rumblings, all the rumors, all the reports. I mean, we've had what? We had the report earlier suggesting that that the Saints are back in the mix as a serious candidate. We had another situation where Davante Adams posted a picture of Edgar Allan Poe. So a lot of fans, we're thinking, are the Baltimore Ravens now a potential favorite to land Adams? So the reports continue, and I think the reports will not stop until Adams is traded. And my guess really from the beginning was early next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, somewhere in that time frame here. So it takes you to this report right here, which is that the Jets, because of cap purposes, would potentially have to move on from a Mike Williams in exchange for Davante Adams. Now, the way it was kind of worded wasn't Davante Adams for Mike Williams. It was more so, hey, if we go out and get Davante Adams because of cap reasons, we might have to move on from Mike Williams and try to recoup something that way. I don't like this idea. I do not like this idea at all. When I watch Mike Williams play, he is impressive. And the thing that really gets me fired up when I'm thinking about Mike Williams, specifically this season with the Jets, every week he looks more and more impressive, which, is an indication of, hey, you know what? He missed a lot of time last season. He's still coming back from his injury. He might not be at 100%. And his connection with Aaron Rodgers is continuing to grow. So it seems like the Jets are they're putting more and more on his plate on a weekly basis, which is a fantastic sign. And Williams is producing in that role. So he's, coming up with clutch plays. He's doing the nice toe tap on the sidelines. He's catching a pass over the middle of the field and getting lit up from a safety, but he's still hanging on to the catch, hanging on to the football. That's awesome. I want to keep Mike Williams, right? If we're going to move on from a wide receiver, I would much rather move on from an Allen Lazard over Mike. And no, Garrett Wilson is not moving. I am not trading Garrett Wilson to any team in football. I understand that he's not looked great this season. The production has not looked great, but I'm not giving up on Garrett. Absolutely not. No way. No way am I giving up on, on a guy like that. And then, obviously with Gibson and Corley, that to me, you're not going to, from a cat, if you have to move on from a wide receiver in order to bring in Davante Adams, moving on from a guy on a rookie deal is not really going to cut it. Another thing that we have to factor in here, Davante Adams is probably going to have to restructure his contract to, I want to say, the majority of teams that would bring him in, one of which would be the New York Jets. Just again, from a financial standpoint. So, I mean, we can just kind of dive into the hypotheticals here, right? Let's say the Raiders want a second round pick, or I guess maybe a third round pick and Mike Williams for Davante Adams. To me, it's too much compensation. Too much compensation for me. If I'm the Raiders, I do not want Mike Williams. I do not want another veteran on this team, especially a guy on a 1-year contract. Now, granted, they, if they love Mike Williams, they could re-sign him, but I don't want a 1-year deal. I would rather have more draft capital to, make my 2025 class more stronger, right? Whether it's drafting another player, whether it's using that pick to trade up for a quarterback, what have you. Now, so again, from that standpoint, Mike Williams going to the Raiders, I don't think it makes any sense at all. Now, you can maybe make the argument, okay, it could be pretty sweet if the Jets trade, let's just say, a third round pick in next year's class, including a 2020, let's just say, 2026 sixth round pick or something, or a 2025 sixth round pick. Like, so that third round pick being like kind of the main prize, the main takeaway from the trade. Plus you get an extra pick if you are the Raiders. If the Jets want to then move on from Mike Williams and they get a sweet deal, they get a fourth, or they get a, I highly doubt somebody's going to offer a third round pick for Mike Williams. But let's just say, a team comes out of nowhere, right? They have a injury at the wide receiver position. They are desperate. They love Mike Williams. He continues to impress. And now they do trade a third. They trade a fourth. Then it maybe makes a little bit more sense because you're adding a wide receiver in Davante Adams. You're upgrading at that room. Yeah, you're trading away a late round pick, but it doesn't, grand scheme of things, it's not really going to make that big of have that big of a ripple effect. And then you're moving on from Mike Williams, so you'll save a little cap there, but you're getting, a pretty solid pick back in return, right? Another mid-round pick. So it's essentially like the Jets sliding back in the third round to round 4 for Davante Adams, plus an extra, plus giving away an extra late round pick. That to me maybe makes sense. But I'm going to be, if the Jets get Davante Adams, I'm going to be fired up. But if news comes out like the next day or the next week or something that the Jets are trading Mike Williams away and we're getting like a JFM package, conditional 2026 6th round pick, not into it at all. If I'm moving anyone, I would rather move Alan Lazard, the guy with the bigger cap hit, the guy who has more years left on his deal. But arguably, who's really going to give up a mid-round pick for Lazard at this point in time. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. And as always, go Jets.